on to our next project. We have got another, yes another, our third Aliexpress Tug Boat 686. This one is destined for exciting things, guys. So with the last one, again, we'll leave a link in the description. We've put a proper hobby grade ESC and receiver in it. So I'm using my Spectrum NX10 controller, absolutely transformed that boat. So what I'm going to do is use all the internals from this one because it's got really nice little Kurt nozzles on it and all the prop shafts are spot on, brilliant little motors. It's ideal for my next project, which some of the eagle-eyed of you might have noticed just down here. So what could be better than an RC boat? Exactly, a Lego RC boat. Now, Miles has been kind enough to donate this one to us on the channel. So what I'm going to need to do is take all the superstructure off it. It's got a really funky shaped hull, which I think with a little bit of work I can graft the back half of this one inside there, and then we can put a hobby grade ESC and receiver in it, and we'll have a fully functional RC Lego boat, which is going to be epic on the pond. So hopefully it'll work out, and then we can do some of the other ones we've got, because these are nice proper floating hulls. So I'll have to take all the superstructure off and rebuild it, but that's fine. So we're going to go ahead, sacrilegiously cut this perfectly good brand new tug up, but it'll be worth it in the end, I promise. And then once I've built this back up and this running, I've got loads of tiny little SMD LEDs, and we're going to get some lights in it and things like that. I've got a flashing blue LED we'll put up on the mast, so hopefully it'll work out pretty cool and it'll look good as well. So let's get on to it. Let's start taking apart this Lego model. So all we're doing first up, guys, we've got the tugboat completely as it came out of the box. So we just got a small crosshead screwdriver, and we're just simply taking out, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws in the bottom. So we'll take those out, separate the two, and then we can see the internals. So we've taken the superstructure off, it only presses on those screws on it, and I've undone the battery cover. As we just said, we've taken out the 5 screws from underneath, and now the top can be separated. So this here is just power for an LED in the cabin, which we're not going to use. We need to take out the existing radio box, chop the wires off the ESCs exactly like we did on the other one. So don't forget to have a look at the video of that conversion, guys. And then we're going to try and cut out the area where the motors go through, and we're going to graft all that into the hull of the Lego boat. So let's get all this out, all the bits we don't need, get the Lego boat stripped down, and then we can go ahead and try and put the two together. So we've got the motors out of the little tug. As you remember from the other video, we've got a 3-wire servo, so that's going to be great to wire into the new receiver of the hobby grade kit. We're going to try and keep as much of this as we can because it does work really, really well. So what we're going to do is potentially cut this hull across the back there, and then it can be fixed in as part of the Lego one. Really luckily with the Lego one, I managed to get all the deck off without actually taking the cabin apart. So we're left with this really nice empty plastic hull. So the next step is to try and get some of that into there. Now what I'm thinking is if we line it up that sort of angle, you can see if we cut the tug hull, we can stick it on the back of there. I want to try and retain this wall, so it's going to in effect be that type of thing in there. So that's the next move, guys. Let's get cutting and see where we end up. Starting to get a rather large pile of scrap now, guys. Maybe wondering why I wasted a good tug, but in all honesty, the rudder and the prop shaft little setup is so good, I didn't want to mess about freestyling it with parts. So there we are at the minute. It's kind of mocked up where I'd like it to be. See over the top there. I need to get this in a tiny little bit more, so when we put the deck on the top, it doesn't stick past the back of the deck, but that's kind of where it needs to be. So we'll slide it forward a couple of mil, I'll epoxy resin it in, and then I can put the motors back in on their little couplers there, and put the other bridging piece back on the top. The ESC and the battery, I'm going to run those into this really convenient little hole in there, and then all you've got to do is simply take the little compartment off the cabin. So when you want to put your batteries in or whatever, that'll just go on and off the top there. So that's the next step, guys. Get this epoxied into the hull, make sure it's all nice and straight, and then we set about getting the motors and the running gear back in. Just going to bring you in a little closer here, guys. We've just soldered the motors to the ESC wires, so motor on each lead there. The ESC is actually going to go in this really convenient void in the hull, which is nice and deep. So I've just drilled a hole through there so the wires can go through. So if you just lift it up, you can see the wires hanging out the back there, which will go into the back section of the hull. Dean style T connector, not sure if we're keeping that, and we've got a receiver there, so we need to fix the receiver in the hull there, and we bring the rudder servo through into the receiver. So a little bit more progress, guys. As you've seen 2 seconds ago, we got the motors in and the Kyosho brushed ESC. Taken the little jumper terminals out, and you can see them in there to make it forwards and reverse, not forwards brake reverse, and we've also set it to LiPo. Now there's a right spaghetti junction of wires going on under here, because each one of these little blue lights along the deck and the 2 yellow ones on the front has got a tiny LED in it, as has the navigation lights on the top there, the green and the red. And I've also put a flashy light on the top there, so that's going to run down through there. But these wires, guys, they are absolutely tiny. Can't really see even how small they are. Look at that. They're literally like a piece of hair. So I'm really dreading soldering these together, but I need to get it done because it's going to look really cool. So I'm going to crack on to get that done, and we'll come back when they're all wired in. So I've been wading on with the soldering, drilled all the little LEDs through as we've just seen. So let's just touch the wires on, and we'll see if it all works. Very awkward with one hand. Yes, look at that, they're all working. All the blue deck lights and the yellow front lights, so all I've done with those. It's really difficult to get the camera to focus. Oh, there's one not working there. We'll have a look at that. Basically I've drilled through the Lego block, glued these tiny LEDs in, and then put the coloured bricks back over the top. So I'll just sort that front one out, and then we can get the wire on the top. There she is, guys, that's done. We've got the searchlights on the top, which obviously still move. Got the red and green marker lights. We've got our blue deck lights all over the sides. And the flashing blue light on the top there. If I just get my NX10 controller, you can actually change the rate it flashes. So that is pretty cool. We've also, just turn it around, our rudder's working, and the throttles forwards and backwards, and that is all back together. Really happy with that, guys. Put the main back on the fire hoses. Obviously I've missed a load of the soldering steps out, guys, because I don't think anyone wanted to watch about 4 hours of me struggling to solder these tiny little LEDs. But basically I've just drilled through all the little deck lights, super glued the SMD LEDs in, and then popped the covers back on. That one on the top there is a standard radio control beacon light, a couple of modes on it. I need to check which way these go, the red and the green. But yeah, these all still move just like the original Lego ones did. So the only bit you need to remove is this piece, which, as you can see, it's like spaghetti junction in there at the minute. So I'm going to tidy that up. In there we've got our brushed ESC, a tiny little 3S pack, and an even smaller 1S pack for these LEDs. So that is all good to go in the pond now, guys. Right, let's see if it sinks or swims. Let's pop it in. How cool is that? An RC Lego boat. That's going to be really cool when it gets dark, and we are absolutely converting some of our other ones. That is like a dream come true. An RC Lego boat. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed that silly little creation that I've made. Really enjoyed doing it. I think you'll agree it's turned out pretty cool. So we'll do another couple of little tweaks on it. It's letting in a little bit of water still, so we need to get some sealant around the back of it a little bit. And we are absolutely going to be doing another one of these. This has been really good fun, and it's absolutely epic on my pond. So like and subscribe, guys, and we're going to get another Lego boat done, maybe two, because these are really good fun. See you on the next video, guys.